I want to talk about the two major stances for mixed martial arts training. They are karate stance and the Muay Thai stance. Now the Muay Thai stance is more common for mixed martial arts. It's done where your feet are shoulder width distance apart, and also the same distance goes from the front to the back. If you imagine that you were standing in a box that was the width of your shoulders, both left to right and front to back, your left foot would be in the upper hand corner of the box, and your right foot would be in the lower right hand corner of the box. You want to shift your weight so that your body weight is going forward, but you're not going to engage your calves. You're not pushing up like you're doing a calf exercise. Just shift your weight forward so that you're engaged and ready to throw combinations, so that 60% of your weight is on your front foot and 40% is on your back foot. Keep your elbows out in front of your body. You don't want your arms tight here. You want to get those elbows out in front, similar to if you were holding onto a volleyball with your forearms. This way, your punches are going to be direct and deliberate, fast to the target, but you still have a good position to defend yourself. The other thing to consider is your hand position. By having your hands below your chin, now when you want to block, you actually have to lift up before you can get that hand across to stop the strike. This is way too slow. You have to have your hands so that your fingertips are at least at your eyebrows, similar to if you're going to take a picture. Now when I do my defense, I could just move horizontally, just laterally across my face, and it's a fast defense. Plus, I'm close with my hand position so I can defend on the outside circles. By having my arms in this position, it also makes it easier for me to defend my rib cage and key areas to the front of my body against kicks, punches, knees, and elbows. The last thing about the Muay Thai stance is try to concentrate on shrugging your shoulders up and keeping your chin down. If you do a combination of this, you might end up getting hit in the top of the forehead, but you're not getting hit in the critical areas: your chin, your nose, your cheeks, your temple. By keeping them shoulders up and the chin down, it makes it a lot harder for the guy to hit you. Now the other type of stance is a karate style stance. This one's different. You're not going to be as wide. In a Muay Thai stance, I'm shoulder width distance apart. With the karate stance, I'm going to be about half of that distance. But when it goes to the front to back style, I'm going to be twice that position. So I'm going to be very wide in this stance. The hand position can change because in the karate stance, you want to keep a focus on hitting from the outside. I don't want to engage and get close to my opponent with this. So I can take a relaxed position with my arms and do what's called a peekaboo guard. On the peekaboo guard, your front hand is down. You use your shoulder on the front side to make your defenses, and you have your right hand to make hook defenses. If you need to change, you can bring your hands in this position to make that change. And you could always, if the engagement happens where you're close, shift up to the Muay Thai style stance. Now let's talk about some advantages and disadvantages. In the Muay Thai position, one of the advantages is because you're squared up, it's easy to defend low angles that are coming from circles and straight lines. It's also a nice position so that you could throw combinations. Because I'm squared up, I have equal power coming from both sides, my left and my right hand, and it's easy to get my right leg into the kick and into the position of power. The disadvantage with Muay Thai is making a fast engagement or a fast disengagement. Since I'm squared up here, I don't have the same explosiveness. So I'm only able to go about 1/3 of a stance, or 6 or 7 inches or so when I make my initial punch. One of the big advantages to a karate stance is because you're longer and wider. Now I can make that shuffle so that my foot can come a half distance and I can go much further when I make my initial attack. The other advantage is if the person tries to attack me, I could disengage in a large segment so that I can make my counterattacks fairly rapidly. The other disadvantage with the karate stance is since you have your leg turned, your toes are going to be sideways like this. Your lower hamstring is exposed for low kick. It's pretty easy to score with this. If you're in this position, low kick the heck out of the guy. As a defense, you want to keep this foot light so that you can take that kick away and take some of the power out of the strike. So those are some of the pros and cons of the two major stances of mixed martial arts training.